How many of you have ever taken a road trip? Windows rolled down, radio on, a couple bags of gas station snacks. Yes, calories don't count. There's no diets on a road trip. We know this. My daughter and several friends had been planning a weekend at a lake house in North Carolina since the early spring. Knowing that we would be settled here by then, I said, sure, you can go. Well, it's in North Carolina. How far away can it be? Remember, I'm from New Jersey. Up there, distance is a state of mind. We had thought it was in Hendersonville, which isn't too far. But no, it was in Hayesville, a town right on the Georgia border. That's about 4 hours each way. But these were friends from camp. They're all about to head off to college, and they wanted one last get-together. So how could I say no? Sometimes we get behind the wheel because we want to, and sometimes because we have to. So last Friday, Liz and I got up early and drove the 4 hours down to Hayesville. I dropped her off, and I turned right around and drove another 4 hours back to be here in time for services. I'm glad Rabbi Levin was here just in case I didn't make it. And then I did the whole round trip all over again on Sunday to bring her home. Some of you may know this, but when you're twisting and turning and climbing and descending on this great Smoky Mountain Expressway, you wind up with a lot of time to think about life. After 16 hours on the road, here's what I learned. Number 1, go at your own pace. As I made my way onto I-40 West, the cars around me got faster and faster. Some pickups must have been going 80 miles per hour through the rain. I could see them roaring behind me in the right lane, and it was tempting to speed up and match their pace, but this was a new route for me. I wasn't comfortable with that. Before I left, I had decided to let people go around me. That's my comfort level. At one point, coming down from the Nantahala National Forest, the pickup truck behind me was getting impatient. That was a 2-lane road with no passing zones due to all the twists and turns. As we got to a short, flatter section, he decided to pass me in a no passing zone despite cars speeding towards him. He cut back within a few feet to spare. What was so urgent that this person would risk all of our lives in order to get wherever a few minutes earlier? How many times do we see the people around us rushing past? Careers taking off, friends turning into couples, turning into families, always onto new goals and new horizons. For some of us, goals and dreams can take years or decades. Trying to keep up with the Schwartzes, sprinting through life, only leads to fatigue and disappointment. In Ecclesiastes, we read, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under heaven." Patience. Take a breath. All things in good time. Number 2, know when to take a break. On our way down, Liz and I didn't have a sense of how empty Route 23 South would be after Dillsboro. We wanted to make a stop, but we hadn't planned ahead. Being from Jersey, we figured there'd be rest stops and places to pull in for a bite. Turns out, half an hour went by and nothing. Just before we entered the forest, finally there was Dooley's Deli in Franklin. Lesson learned. Coming back that afternoon, I made sure to stop at an Ingles in Waynesboro. And Sunday was easier because I knew what to expect. Now I knew where there were places to stop and where there were not. And it made a big difference. Judaism understands the need for a regular, planned break. It's called Shabbat. 6 days a week we toil and we struggle. 6 days a week we're in the marketplace fighting for our bread. On the seventh day, the day of completion, we belong to eternity. Shabbat is a taste of the world to come, a day when even the poorest in the shtetl had a dinner, a candle, a moment to be a king or queen. Achad Ha'am taught, more than Jews have kept the Sabbath has kept the Jews. When we take this time once a week to break bread together here or at home, when we open the door to those looking for connection, when we gather family around the table, we pause in the midst of this increasingly digital world of rage and anxiety. There is always more to life than that. There must be, even online. Again, take a breath. Remember how to be analog in a digital world. Shabbat is our truck stop. So pull in, get some rest, and find strength for the rest of the journey. And don't forget the snacks. Number 3, when it rains, keep going. One thing I'm learning about the high country is that sometimes the rains are torrential downpours. There was one heading east on I-40. The windshield wipers couldn't keep up, so it was hard to see the road. I could only focus on the lights ahead of me. I slowed down a little bit and put my blinkers on for those behind me. I thought, how long can this last? Keep going and you'll get through it. Nowhere to pull over. Cars lined behind me. What else could I do? At least most of us were driving carefully. Eventually, the rain started to lighten a bit, and then a bit more. A few more miles. It was back to light rain and a clear path. If I had pulled over and stopped in the heaviest rain, I might have been there for who knows how long. As Winston Churchill said, if you're going through hell, keep going. Our people wandered 39 years in the desert. In this week's portion, the Etchanan, Moses offers final words of teaching and wisdom to the people before they enter the land. The words of the Shema are given to the people this week, a kind of spiritual GPS that we can use as we move through our lives. 6 words in Hebrew. We sang them earlier tonight. Hear, O Israel, Adonai is our God, Adonai alone. This is the first prayer we teach our children, and it is the last prayer on our lips as we slip away. Like stars to the sailor, it lights our path. When the rains come, when the darkness overwhelms, we can recite this prayer to center and find ourselves again. The journey is never done. Keep calm and carry on. Number 4, find your people. When I went back on Sunday, I got to meet the rest of the girls. The love and friendship was clear on their faces. Liz's smile made the whole trip worthwhile. Driving up through the Nantahala, she said, Mom, these are my people. Make an effort to find your people. Maybe they're old friends you've known forever. Maybe you just met some over coffee this summer. You will find them if you look. We are Am Echad im Lev Echad. The Jewish people are one family with one heart. After the images of Rom and Evyatar, starving and near death, we must hold on to one another more tightly as our sons and brothers are paraded by evildoers who feel they can do so with impunity. Tonight, let us all vow to keep hostages Rome and Evyatar in our hearts and thoughts, but also in our social media feeds to raise awareness. We need to support those who advocate for the hostages, the families, and the organizations on the front lines of the fight. These are our people as well. There aren't always easy answers. Sometimes we take the wheel because we want to, and sometimes because we have to. And sometimes there is only driving through the rain at our own pace, the Shema as our constant guide, our arms around one another, knowing that one day we will bring our children home. Shabbat Shalom.